Today we are covering whether is there a real diet to heal from chronic pain, and I will answer three things. First, there are so many diets like a gluten-free, keto diet, paleo diet, vegan, plant-based diet, anti-inflammatory diet, grain-free diet, and intermittent fasting. So the real question is there a diet to heal from chronic pain? Well, second thing we're going to cover is what are the mistakes people make when it comes to diet to heal from chronic pain, arthritis, and inflammation. The third thing we're going to cover is which diet really works to heal from chronic pain. Now, first I want to know what kind of a diet you have tried so far for chronic pain, and please comment below and let us know what are the results you have been getting. Hi, I am Dipti Patel, physical therapist with 20 plus years of experience, therapeutic pain specialist and a yoga teacher. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you get notified when my new video is released. I have so much information that I can't wait to share with you so you embark on your pain-free journey and live fearless, active life. Let's answer the first question. Is nutrition necessary to heal from chronic pain? The honest answer is absolutely. Recovery from chronic pain is a giant puzzle. The more pieces of puzzles you have, the clearer the picture of your recovery becomes. Nutrition is one of the pieces of this puzzle. In my opinion, everyone should eat wholesome, nutritious food 80% of the time. I know life is for living, so occasionally eating cakes, cookies, or fries is okay, as long as you eat healthy foods 80% of time. If you want your body to work like a Mercedes, you need to put the premium fuel in it. It can't run on the kerosene. Many people who are dealing with chronic pain struggle with IBS. It's called irritable bowel syndrome, which is one of the long-term effects of the chronic pain. And I will talk about IBS some other time. Now, nutrition is one of the most important pillars, in my opinion, to deal with chronic pain. I have 27 recipe collections for you to reverse the chronic pain. So check out the link in the descriptions below. Now let's talk about the second topic, that out of all these diets like gluten-free or a keto diet or a paleo diet or a vegan or a plant-based or anti-inflammatories or intermittent fasting, let me ask you, what is your goal? What exactly are you striving for? Here are the mistakes people make. All this diet has a particular intention, right? So first find out, do you want to lose weight or do you just want to lose fat, muscles, water weight all together? As long as you shred some fat or some weight off, you don't care. Pretty much you just want to change the shape of the body. So if you are like this or a big person, you just want to become a smaller version of you. The calorie deficits diet will work just fine. So if you're eating 2000 calories right now, if you cut down the calories little by little by little and add some cardiovascular exercise, you're good to go. Over the course of time, if you stay consistent, you will get there. But if your goal is to lose fat, reverse make them make more muscles and change the shape of the body, like you want to get rid of saddlebags, love handles, the cellulite thighs, then you need the meticulous calculations of macros and slowly decrease the calories over time. With progressive muscle strengthening and increasing cardio over the course of time, you will get there. You will build muscles, but building muscles takes a long time, minimum 2 to 3 years. You're not going to get the results right away. So you have to have a commitment. Stay on the track. Every week calculating your macros and meal planning, you will get there. Now, if your goal is to heal from disease or a pain, then you need a total different meal plan. Now, here are the 4 mistakes I see people are making when they're choosing a diet plan. Number 1 is most people don't know what their goal is, what the end results they are aiming for. Second one I see is most people crash their calories way off the bat. So if they're eating 2000 calories, they go down to 1200 and they stay there for a long time. And in 3 to 4 weeks, they reach to the plateaus, they can't go anymore. Now their metabolism is slow, they don't have enough energy to get through their activities for the day. The third problem I see is there are people who go through a cyclical diet. They will go on a diet for a few months, they get happy with the results, and they start eating whatever. They fall off the wagon. Few months pass by. Now they can't fit in their clothes. They don't like what they see in the mirror. So they go back to this crashing diet again. Comment below in all caps, me, if that's you. The fourth mistake I see is a copy-paste approach. Some people follow the trend blindly. If everybody is doing keto diet, they got the results, so they go to the keto diet. There are people doing a gluten-free for pain relief, so they do gluten-free. There are people who are doing grain-free, then let's go grain-free. They just follow blindly even though they don't have a gluten allergies or the sensitivities. Let's talk about the history of gluten diet as it is used to heal from the chronic pain. In 1941, there was a wheat shortage. So the group of scientists got hired and they got to work. The goal was to expand the global wheat output by 5-fold by the end of the 20th century. So they genetically modified wheat in order to do that. So wheat is different now compared to 75 years ago, but there is no data in the literature to prove that, unfortunately. So the wheat changed, but the gut microbe did not change or did not get time to adapt. Now what this caused is overactive immune response. So it reduces the ability of a small intestine to absorb nutrients from a food properly. The immune system causes the intestinal inflammation, irritation, swelling, and resulting in a long-lasting damage. Now, in order to get diagnosed with the celiac disease for sure, you need a serology testing, genetic testing, endoscopy with intestinal biopsy, or a capsule endoscopy. Now let's talk about the symptoms of celiac disease. First is iron deficiency, bone and joint pain, arthritis, depression and anxiety, bone loss and osteoporosis, tingling and numbness in their hands and feet, seizures, erratic menstrual periods, dermatitis, mouth sores. Now these symptoms are so similar to chronic pain, right? If you have been struggling with pain for some time, most likely you have this kind of symptoms. Now there are non-celiac gluten sensitivities. We call them NCGS. So the diagnosis is mainly based on the clinical suspicion of hyperreactivity to gluten and the absence of celiac disease. So do you know how many people have true NCGS? 1%. There is no biomarker to absolutely confirm this diagnosis. So what they do is come off of the gluten for 2 to 4 weeks and see how you feel. I have done this myself, and most of the people feel amazing, and most of them do, because in journal at times we don't eat healthy, right? It is not like they eat gluten-free cakes, pastries, fries, or ice cream, correct? Only and only if you're diagnosed 100% sure that you have a celiac disease, you want to avoid gluten, like wheat or rye. So do you know significant percentage of general populations reported problems by wheat and gluten ingestions, even though they do not have a celiac disease? They test negative both for celiac disease specific serology and histopathology, and for immunoglobulin E, IgE mediated assays. There are 3.1 million people across the United States follow a gluten-free diet. Do you think there are 3.1 million people have a wheat allergies? 72% of them are classified as people without a celiac disease avoiding gluten. Now, what happens if you eat gluten-free diet even though you don't have a gluten allergies? It will cause nutrition deficiency from carbs or plant protein. It will alter the gut microbiome, pro-inflammatory gut environment, lack of dietary fibers, mental health issues. And what you can do about it? If you suspect you have a gluten allergies, get tested for both celiac disease and for gluten sensitivity. If neither of them are positive, just take the gluten out of your diet, but keep everything as it is for 2 weeks. Yes, improvement, then you could benefit from dietary alterations. If not, it's not a major factor. Do you know on average gluten-free producers on the market are 242% more expensive than the regular products. So what's the point of increasing your grocery bill? Don't look for an expensive solution. Adding extra financial burden unnecessary will add more stress and make your pain tiger even bigger. So the question is, what do I need to eat for chronic pain, right? Well, chronic pain is highly linked to chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammatory process could be silent and would not cause noticeable symptoms for some time. But as it goes on, it will manifest as aches and pains, arthritis, weight gains, skin issues, especially rashes and itchy skin, will cause fatigue, bloating, digestive problems like constipations or diarrhea, migraines, allergies, bag under your eyes, high blood pressure problems, mental and mood disorders, and much more. Now, better known inflammatory conditions are like arthritis, diabetes, conjunctivitis, eczema, pancreatitis, IBS, Crohn's disease, and so forth. Now, many chronic pain people have the symptoms associated with the GI symptoms or not. And many people with the chronic pain have elevated level of pro-inflammatory cytokines in their bloods and tissues like interleukin-1, interleukin-6, TNF-alpha, and CRP levels. They are high in the blood, and this can be tested via lab test. So now, in order to cure the chronic inflammations, you have to do the lifestyle change diet, not something for a short period of time. You have to make a lifelong habit of eating and changing your diet to keep these inflammations down for a long time. I like to follow these 5 principles when it comes to a diet for a chronic pain. Number 1, always eat living foods. Our food should come straight from the farm, not from the factory in between. Nothing processed, bottled, or canned. Number 2, eat wholesome foods. Our food should be unprocessed and unrefined. It should not have been subtracted from its natural elements, like whole grains, beans, and brown rice are a few examples. Now, people eat fat-free sour cream, fat-free whipping cream, fat-free half and half. That's not the real food. Number 3, eat right kind of plant-based foods. Our food should be derived from plants and trees, not from animals. No meat, fish, or eggs. Within a plant-based categories, eat anti-inflammatory, alkaline, and probiotic foods to combat the inflammations. Now, why I do recommend plant-based and not the animal-based? Here is my reasons. Epigenetics is the study of heritable chemical marks that studies the specific part of the DNA that adjusts the expression of the genes without affecting the underlying genetic sequence, like the string of A, C, T, G bases, and all of us are familiar with that, right? Essentially, chemical marks attached to or removed from our DNA can influence our phenotype without ever altering our genotype. Why I promote consuming plant flavors has been connected to changes in the DNA methylations and reductions of cancer. Now, I do want you to check out the book called China Study. Now, in the China Study, there was this MD research is on about 100 or 200 rats. I forgot the exact number, but he checks out the casein protein effects on these rats over a course of 6 months, and he found that it was a big factor in causing the cancer. And then when he changed the animal protein to plant protein in a half of the rat populations, the cancer reversed when he started using the started feeding them plant-based protein, and the rats who continued the animal proteins have increased the cancer significantly. And then he took the studies from the rats and studies in the human populations. So please check that book out. The 4th element I have is food has to be water rich. You should eat juicy, containing the high amount of water food that is like fruits and vegetables and leafy greens, not too much dried food like nuts and grains. Number 5 is eat balanced food. I'm not a big fan of a keto diet or things like that. I like to have balanced protein, carbohydrate, and fats along with the probiotics to improve your gut microbiome health and overall, because they're all building blocks of body. So that's my 5 elements that I recommend to combat the chronic pain. If you want to learn more about our program, please check out the link in the description below about the therapeutic diet plan, which based on all these 5 principles. And we also talked about the combinations of the food, how to prepare your food to keep the maximum nutrition in the food. And also I have above more than 135 recipes. Also we include the calorie plans, so you have 1800 to about 1200 calorie plans with the calculated macros, which you can work on to reduce the weight. That way you don't have to do any calculations, and the appropriate recipes for that. Not only that, we provide 2 yoga flows that improves the digestions and detox your body along with this diet program. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description below. And if you find this video helpful, please like or subscribe.